Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And imagine being told that because of the colour of your skin, you're guilty automatically. And that because your skin colour matches up with the skin colour of all those other people, in your history, that's a level of guilt and privilege and you should be ashamed. And imagine being told that if you don't feel guilty about this, then you bloody well ought to. In fact, being told that because of your skin colour, you are automatically a bad person and are guilty of racism. I feel that's racist in itself because you're judging people on the colour of their skin. Racism. Now imagine that skin colour is white. And imagine being told that because you're white and that you've never been arrested, that's white privilege. The fact that you've got a good relationship with the police is a white privilege. How dare you not break the law? Not breaking the law is a form of white privilege. Who's saying this, by the way? Is it the Black Lives Matter movement? No. Is it some Marxist organisation that self-loathes? No. The people telling you that you are racist and that you have got white privilege because you haven't been arrested is the police. Let's look at this article. Right, now I've said on many times that the police are not your friends. They're awful people. They are, so many different forces are now in special measures because they can't do their damn job. But if you're one of the 90-odd% in this country who are white, you know now that the police loathe you. They think you are automatically guilty of privilege and of racism. That's the police's official view because they're doing this. So much for common sense policing. Student officers at the Met are taught having a good relationship with the police is a sign of white privilege. Yeah, not breaking the law, not getting arrested. Oh, that's privilege, that is. Student officers are being challenged to ask themselves if they've ever felt guilty about being white or having privilege as part of their police training. Let me tell you that there is no such thing as white privilege. White working class boys are the absolute bottom of the social ladder in this country. They are likely to earn the least of any group. They are the ones that are lowest rated with degrees. They're the ones that are least likely to get a degree. They have got terrible life chances because of the policies brought in to, quote, equalise society. It actually makes the white working class boys the most likely to be at the bottom of every single ladder. Earnings, housing, relationships, education, you name it. So this white privilege does not exist. It's purely invented so that these people can go and virtue signal and say, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. And it's a control mechanism. That's all. The Met Police training programme gives its trainees examples of white privilege. I've just mentioned one or two there. Tory MP Tim Loughton has been critical of the content in the training programme. Now, the Metropolitan Police training programme, revealed after a Freedom of Information request, gives learning about one's own race in school as another example of white privilege. Now, we live in a country that's 90-odd% white. Historically, it's been 99% white. So virtually everyone in our history is going to be white. And if you're a white person and you learn about your own country's history, that's seen as privilege. Well, no, it's not. It's fact, it's actual, it's not privilege, it's what it is. Deal with it. Now, if people who come to this country, if immigration has been useful in some cases, and people have come to this country and they've done jobs that we needed them to do, we look at the Windrush generation in the 50s, we had a desperate need after the war for these people to come in. They came in, they worked hard, they did the jobs that a lot of people didn't want to do, and they did them, and they did them willingly. But the fact is they were in a white country. If their children then were learning about British history, the country in which they were living in, they see an endless line of white faces. That's fine. That's how it is. And if they don't like it, well, they're the ones who chose to come here. I mean, we needed them. There's no two bones about that. But you cannot sit there, and this is white people saying this, you cannot now sit there and say, oh, but it's white privilege if a white person learns about their white history. Yes, but black people could learn about black history. Nothing's stopping them. It's just that the vast proportion of the history in this country is going to be white because it's a vastly white country. That's the end of the matter. There's nothing you can do. You can't jump. You're not the Doctor. You can't jump in a TARDIS, go back and change 5,000 years of British history. So get over yourselves. Anyway, Tory MP Tim Loughton said, if only police were as energetic at catching criminals as they are in promoting political correctness, we might see a dramatic fall in the crime rate. And he's quite right. Because the police, and I did a video the other day about the police, and they are terrible, terrible people. They go around virtue signalling all the time, not catching criminals, not doing their actual job, but just... well, not doing their job at all, really, but being involved with bending the knee here and showing concern there, handing children back to the people that would use them terribly. You know, the 15,000 white girls. Tell me about that white privilege, policeman. Tell me about, is the white privilege, does that include the 15,000 white girls that the police allowed to be AR'd? Because I'd like to see how you define white privilege there. That'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Anyway, the Met's guidance appears to contradict a call yesterday by the new Home Sec, Suella Braverman, for forces to prioritise common sense policing instead of focusing on symbolic gestures or initiatives on diversity and inclusion. Did the video yesterday. I will put a link up for that. I'll put it at the end of the video up in the corner there. Worth a watch. But yeah, I mean, it's a short piece. We're done with that. I'll come up and finish. But there is no such thing as white privilege. And these police are sitting there. They're full of it. But it just goes to show the level of contempt they have for the vast majority in this country who actually pay their wages through tax. So, yeah, grow up, policeman. Get a grip. Stop your agendizing. You're pushing everything with an agenda. Anyway, I'm up, done, and we'll finish off. Why aren't we firing the senior officers? Because they've signed off on this. We don't need a partisan police force. And if you're sitting there and you're training white police officers to feel guilty about being white, you're partisan. You are creating division where there is none. Senior officers need to lose jobs over this. We need to stop, absolutely stop this mistaken bollocks about white privilege, because there is none. It does not exist. What they're doing here is they are shading these young officers before they even get out onto the streets, and they're giving them a view that the minority woke leftist elite think is the correct view, the view that everyone should feel. But it's not the view that most people feel. In fact, it's not the view of the vast, vast majority, and I'm talking high 90% here, don't agree with it. Policing by consent, and when you're alienating the actual police from the vast majority of the people they're supposed to be policing, you're not going to have policing by consent. You're going to drop into a police state, and it needs to stop. And the people responsible for all this virtue bollocks need to be fired and told exactly why they're fired, and be banned from anything to do in public life again. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't trust a policeman, and goodbye.